Hi everyone, my name is Essie Jane and I'm a reseller that talks about my sales and how I go about running my business. Here on YouTube, I am selling women's clothing mainly on Poshmark, Mercari, eBay, and platforms like that. So if that interests you at all, please follow me along on my journey. You can subscribe here, obviously, and then I do have a little bit of content posted over on Instagram, although I haven't been great about that. I am on baby watch still. Baby number 2 was due to arrive earlier this week and we're still waiting for them. So I am here today to share a recap of my November sales with you. So November was a good month. It wasn't anything record-breaking. It did not beat my October numbers overall, but I'm very satisfied with it and it felt like a very solid sales month that is repeatable. October had some, just some crazy sales and things that happened. So I feel like November is a little bit maybe more of an accurate representation of what an average month could look like for me moving forward now that I have implemented some new strategies for my business. Sorry if the light changes from clip to clip. The sun is kind of coming and going behind clouds, so I'll do my best in editing, but things may not look super consistent, and I do apologize for that. Okay, so I had 47 total sales in the month of November, and that was almost identical to October when I had 48, so very similar there. My total sales overall was $6,562.20, and that means that my average sales price was $139.62. My total profit, and this is the number that I'm really working on, was $2,693.96. So that was just a little bit down from October, which was $2,922.53. I really would love to break that 3,000 mark soon, but really happy with these numbers so far. So that left my average profit per unit at $57.32. Again, very happy with that. My goal is 40. Or my minimum goal is 40, so I'm definitely achieving that. Another number that I don't know that I've mentioned in other what sold videos before is my average cost of goods, which is also pretty interesting, I think, just to know what people are spending per item. So my average cost of goods in November was $54.28, and that was actually down $10 from October when my average cost of goods was $64.82. All right, on to the details. I'm going to just quickly go through all of my sales that profited $50 or more. I had just over 20, I think. And then I will talk about 5 sales that were pretty horrible. And lastly, I will run through all of my sales that happened less than a week after I listed the item. So just things that were flying off of the platforms once they were listed. My first sale that broke the $50 profit mark was a Sandro cardigan. I sourced this on the Real for $88. It sold 44 days later on Depop for $160, so my profit was $50.32. Next are some Stuart Weitzman Lowland boots. These were in the color buff, size 8. I sourced these on Depop for $69. They sold 4 days later on Poshmark for $150, so my profit was $51. This next one was actually in a bundle that sold on Poshmark. It was my first bundle in I don't know how many months. I haven't sold a bundle since I was listing items like Target items that I found for $1 at a liquidation store. So it's been a long time, but this was a really fun bundle. It was 2 really cool dresses. This one was one that I found at a buy-sell trade store. It was vintage. And I thought it would sell on Depop just because of the kind of item it was, but it sold on a Poshmark bundle. So this one sold for $100. I think the bundle was $200 for the 2 dresses. And since my cost of goods was $20, my profit was $60. I sold this Misa Los Angeles dress that I had sourced on the Real. It sold on Mercari for $125. My cost of goods was $48, so my profit was $60.37. Other dress in that bundle that I mentioned before was this Zara blogger favorite new with tags dress that I found at a buy-sell trade store. Again, it sold for $100. My cost of goods was $17, so my profit on this was $63. So that was a pretty decent bundle for sure. Next up are these Mother Tomcat jeans. I sourced these on The RealReal for $33. They sold on Poshmark 4 days later for $125, leaving me with a profit of $67. Another pair of Mother jeans. These I also sourced on The RealReal for $38. They sold on Poshmark 13 days after listing for $134, so my profit was $67.48. I actually just sourced this exact pair of jeans in this exact wash and size, so I'm excited to get those listed and see how they do. I sourced and listed a lot of holiday themed dresses, or dresses that I thought were holiday themed, in the last couple of months. So this one sold. It's an Alice and Olivia New with Tags dress that I bought on The RealReal. I paid $40 for it. It sold on Poshmark 61 days after listing for $135, so my profit was $68. Yet another pair of Mother jeans, my favorite. These ones sold on Poshmark for $168, 15 days after listing. I purchased them on Poshmark for $63, so my profit was $71.40. It's been a minute since I had a Zara blazer sale, but this one did sell. I purchased this one on Poshmark for $40 and it sold 33 days after listing for $140, so my profit was $72. I love the Nilly Lotan French military crop pants, and this pair sold 23 days after listing. I had purchased it on The RealReal for $29, so my profit after it sold for $128.99 on eBay was $74.20. I believe this is the third time now that I've sold these overalls, the Hatch corduroy overalls. They're maternity. I actually just sourced another pair and they arrived today, but they had some undisclosed wear, so I'm going to have to return them, which is sad. But anyway, these sold 6 days after listing. I had purchased them on The RealReal for $75. They sold on Poshmark full price for $188, so my profit was $75.40. Okay, so another bundle. This one was on Depop. It was actually a new Depop user who purchased 3 dresses outright, full price altogether, which was kind of insane. I was a little skeptical of it because this person had no reviews on Depop, but they've received everything for well over a week now, so I'm guessing there's no issues. So I'm really thrilled. There were 3 dresses. The first one was this Reformation Karen floral midi dress that I had purchased on Poshmark for $67. It sold for $178 with a profit of $77.66. The next one was another Reformation dress. This was the Reformation Lee floral midi dress that I had purchased on The RealReal for $72. It sold in the bundle for $188, so my profit was $81.08. And then the last item in that bundle was this Suzanne jumpsuit that I have had for way too long. Or it felt like way too long. It was a rare piece, but it did have some stains on the front, so I wasn't sure how much I could get for it, but it sold for $250 in this bundle. I had paid $111 on The RealReal, so The RealReal did not disclose that there were stains, and then I hardly even noticed them until I was photographing it. So they did show up in the photos, but they're much less noticeable in person. I decided since it was so rare that I would list it anyway, and I'm glad I did, because this girl bought it on Depop for $250. So my profit was $105.66. So that bundle overall was almost a $300 profit on 3 dresses, or 2 dresses and a jumpsuit, which was amazing. I decided to pick these boots up on Mercari when I was purchasing some other items from the same seller. I've never bought this brand BANSH before, but I think I'm going to start looking into it a little bit more. These were new without the box and size 8, so I felt pretty good about it. Super cute. I purchased them for $80. They sold on Poshmark 14 days after listing for $200, so my profit was $80. Found this alpaca coat at a buy sell trade store for $30. So for something of that quality, and it was a very substantial piece, I felt very comfortable paying that price. Wasn't exactly sure how to price it since this is a kind of unknown brand. but it sold on Poshmark 14 days after listing on an offer of $140, so my profit was $82. All right, last pair of mother jeans I'm going to mention here. Another pair of mother Tomcat jeans that I purchased from The Real for $37. They sold on Poshmark for $158, 13 days after listing, so my profit was $89.40. Sold 2 pairs of the Stuart Weitzman 50/50 boots in November, so this pair sold 5 days after listing, which was amazing. The other one sat for quite a while, but this one sold 5 days after listing. I had purchased it on Mercari for $111, and it sold on Poshmark full price for $254. Wait, no, sorry, it wasn't full price. That was an offer. $254. So my profit was $92.20. A new with tags Reformation Gavin dress sold on Poshmark for $199. I had purchased it from Mercari for $65. So my profit was $94.20. Another pair of Nilly Lotan crop French military pants. These ones had been sitting for over 200 days, but they finally sold on eBay for $167. I had paid $31 on The Real for them, so my profit was $98.78. The other pair of Stuart Weitzman boots that I mentioned sat for 35 days. I had purchased them on Poshmark for $95. They sold on Poshmark for $280, and my profit was $129. And my highest profiting sale of November was this Hatch maternity formal dress, the Riviera dress. It's one of their most popular styles. I purchased it from The Real for $81. It sold 9 days after listing on Poshmark, full price for $278. So my profit was $141. So no $500 sales or $200 profits like I had in October, but November was very solid. I'm really happy with all of those sales. And now just to quickly shout out some of my worst ones, just because we all have them. I'll just run through these really quickly. There was this BCBG coat that I picked up way back in the early days at Goodwill. It took 264 days to sell, and it finally sold for $40 on Poshmark. My cost of goods was $8, so that was a $24 profit. Next up, a Joie blouse that I had bought at TJ Maxx. Note to self, no more tops, especially Joie. But I paid $17 for this. It sold on Poshmark 179 days later for $45, and my profit was $19. There was this bridesmaid's dress that I actually sold for a friend, so my cost of goods was nothing, but it had some stains on it, and it only sold for $29.99 on eBay, so my profit, I guess, was $17.99. This Topshop skirt I had purchased at Plato's Closet when they were having a huge clearance sale a very long time ago. It sat for 269 days. It actually got a lot of interest though, on different platforms, but it finally sold on Poshmark for $18. My cost of goods was only $2, so that left me with a profit of $10.68. And then this was the only sale that I lost money on. I kind of bought this one for myself. I actually wore it in one of my early videos. It was a Zara top, and I paid $9 for it at a consignment store. And then it sold after being listed for 243 days for $12, and so my profit was negative $1.67. I had 8 sales that sold in under 7 days of being listed, and I did mention a few of these in my best sales category, so I'll just run through them really quickly again. These mother jeans sold 6 days after being listed. I purchased them on eBay. I sold them on eBay, and my cost of goods was $52. They sold for $109, so my profit was $35. The Hatch overalls, like I mentioned, had sold in 6 days for a $75 profit. Stuart Weitzman 50/50 over-the-knee boots sold in 5 days for a $92 profit. Another pair of Mother Dazzler jeans that I had picked up on Poshmark sold on Poshmark 4 days after being listed. I paid $71 for them, and they sold for $125, so my profit on those was only $29. These Stuart Weitzman boots that I mentioned at the beginning of the video sold in 4 days on Poshmark. These Mother Tomcat jeans that I already mentioned sold in 4 days on Poshmark. This Zara blazer sold in 1 day on Poshmark. I had purchased it on Poshmark. My cost of goods was $50. It sold for $115, so my profit was $42. And then lastly, these mother jeans sold the same day that they were listed. I purchased them on Poshmark. They sold on Poshmark. My cost of goods was $60 and they sold for $130, so my profit was $44.32. So that's my recap of November. Hopefully that was interesting and you maybe found a couple of new brands or styles to search out there. I'd love to hear how your November went. Did you run a Black Friday sale? I did send out a lot of offers on Black Friday, and that's how I made a couple of those like really low profit sales, just getting rid of some items that I had sourced early on that I just didn't want in my closet anymore. But overall, it wasn't a crazy weekend of sales for me. So I hope going into December, things are looking great for you, and I will be back here eventually. Hopefully baby comes before I have the chance to film another video. As always, it means so much to me that you are here watching. Thank you for subscribing if you have already. If you haven't, you can of course do that now for more videos like this, and like this video if you did enjoy it.